Alright, good morning. Hey, Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, getting your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. Russia says it's quitting an international agreement on Russian agricultural exports and Ukrainian grain. The deal gave safe passage to ships crossing the Black Sea despite the war. The grain is still badly needed by other countries, and it was struck to help avert
Are you going to tell us
global
why
hunger.
they shut it
But
down?
NPR's Charles Maine says Russia is complaining it wasn't getting much out of the agreement.
President Putin had been signaling he wanted to suspend Russian
No, you were
participation in the
keeping.
agreement, which
You were not
formally ends
allowing
today.
them to
Either
export,
way,
only allowing
this deal
others.
brokered by the UN and Turkey
Of course they
allows
shoot
safe
it
passage
down.
of grain from Ukraine
Idiots.
and Russia through the Black Sea. The problem is President Putin has said the deal was one-sided. It only benefited Ukraine, and Putin said that months of negotiations had done nothing to
Yeah,
address
Russia
Russian
was shut
complaints
down where they couldn't
that
trade.
Western sanctions on things like shipping
Well,
and insurance
free
and
trade.
banking
Allow
essentially
both sides to
prevented
trade.
the export of Russian grain and fertilizer.
NPR's Charles Maine
Makes
is
sense.
reporting. 2 small children are still missing after their family car was hit by sudden flash flooding this weekend north of Philadelphia. 5 other people were killed. Flooding hit other parts of the Northeast as well, washing out roads and inundating
Now I want to
buildings.
bring that part up.
Meanwhile, there are air quality alerts across several, mostly northern states because of smoke from Canadian wildfires. From Montana Public Radio, Ellis Julin reports some of the worst air quality
Montana.
is in eastern Montana.
The rural towns of Havre
Really?
and Malta in the northeast and Broadest in southeast Montana have the
So
most
good,
particulate
clean,
matter from
crisp air over
smoke
there, I
and are
thought.
all experiencing air quality indices within
Montana's
the
all
unhealthy
woods.
range. Plumes moved in along the Continental Divide Friday and pushed east into the Great Plains over the weekend.
fires.
The smoke and lower air quality
Yeah,
are forecasted
fires.
to move out of Montana
Forest
as
fires.
wind patterns change. Changing winds are expected to push the smoke further into the central United States. This smoke is blowing from several large fires in British Columbia and Alberta.
Well,
So far, more than 20 million acres of land have burned in Canada this summer. For NPR
they
News,
shut them
I'm
fires
Ellis
down.
Julin in
You're going to
Helena.
have the best
Reverend
air in the
Jesse
world.
Jackson has announced that he is stepping down from the human rights group he founded, the Rainbow Push Coalition. From member station KERA,
Rainbow
Bill
Push.
Ziebel reports Jackson will be succeeded by senior pastor Frederick Haynes of Dallas.
Jackson, who's 81, has struggled 8 years with Parkinson's disease. More than half a century ago, he founded the Rainbow Push Coalition that held its annual gathering in Chicago this weekend. Joining him was Dallas native Frederick Haynes III. He too is a dynamic civil rights leader and activist. He's been a pastor for 40 years at Dallas's Friendship West Baptist Church. Haynes is called a longtime student and supporter of Jackson. Under him, Friendship West grew from a church of a few hundred to more than 10,000. He's especially passionate about education. A charter school with his name is housed at Dallas's historically black Baldwin College. I'm Bill Ziebel in Dallas.
Stocks are higher on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrials are up almost 62 points. This is NPR. Iran says it is redeploying its morality police. They're cracking down on women violating the country's mandatory headscarves rule. Some Iranian women have been loosely wearing the covering or flouting the law entirely. A young woman died in Iranian police custody last year after she was detained for improperly wearing her headscarf. Tunisia and the European Union has signed an agreement
why they
to
gotta
try
be all
to curb
abusive.
illegal migration. Michael Kaloki reports.
The deal signed yesterday in the Tunisian capital Tunis includes plans to try and stop human trafficking and tighten border controls. Tunisia lies on a major route for migrants and refugees traveling from Africa to Europe. Earlier this year, Tunisia's President Kais Saied called for the expulsion of undocumented migrants from the country. Since the president's announcement, there has been a sharp increase in migrants trying to leave Tunisia by boat in a bid to make it to the European coastline. Over the past few months, scores of people have died trying to make the journey. The deal signed by the European Union and Tunisia also includes plans to improve coordination in search and rescue operations. For NPR News, I'm Michael Kaloki in Nairobi.
A federal judge has determined Oregon's new gun law is constitutional. Oregon voters narrowly approved the law last year. It requires a permit to purchase a firearm and bans large capacity magazines. People in Oregon who want to buy guns must first take a safety class and get a federal background check before getting their permits. Opponents sued. There was a week-long trial in June.
Okay, well,
The federal judge's ruling was issued
getting the
late
background checks and
Friday.
all that, sure.
I'm Corva Coleman,
Paying
NPR
somebody for a
News
permit?
in Washington.
Come on. don't
If
know
you're
about
looking
that.
for a new way to support this show
Just
and
another way
public
to
media,
rate people
please
per
consider
month.
signing up for the NPR Plus podcast bundle.
Now, if the
NPR
permit's
Plus
free,
listeners get
when you
to
take the
unlock
class,
sponsor-free listening and bonus episodes from NPR shows like this one. You can find out more at plus.npr.org.
In NASA news,
As part of NASA's regular cadence of robotic lunar missions through Artemis, the agency has selected a new scientific payload to establish the age and composition of hilly terrain
I
created
don't see
by
anything
volcanic
wrong with people
activity on
taking
the
a
near
gun
side
class
of the
before they
moon.
purchase one. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
NASA has awarded the
You have to do
Sound
that
and
for your
Rocket
driver's
Operations
license.
4, Zrock 4, contract to Periton Incorporated of Herndon,
Gun
Virginia,
safety
to
class.
support suborbital flight
Just like you have to do
operations
to get your
managed by
hunting
the
license. You
agency's
have to take a
Wallops
gun
Flight
safety.
Facility in Virginia.
Same thing.
Media are invited to join NASA and Small Business Administration leadership at 9:30 a.m. EDT on Tuesday, July 18th at NASA headquarters in Washington to highlight how federal agencies rank on meeting their small business goals. NASA will host a pair of news conferences Tuesday, July 25th at the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston to highlight upcoming crew rotations and missions to the International Space Station. NASA will host a media teleconference at 10 a.m. EDT on Tuesday, July 18th to discuss the next science investigations bound for the International Space Station aboard Northrop Grumman's Cygnus spacecraft on the company's 19th commercial resupply mission for NASA.
in weather,
In Seattle, it's 62 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today,
Some
you can look
showers.
for showers,
Yeah.
with a high of 71 degrees
Already
and a
seen a
low
little
of
bit of rain.
55 degrees.
Cool.
From NASA.
Amazon. Off. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
I once knew a dog that was so good at fetching sticks. The dog was promoted to branch manager.
Oh, wow. Cool. Nice. Have a great day. Happy work week.